I cannot even put into words how nervous for this one I am, but I love you guys, so I'm gonna do this one. Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lilith, and today we are going to be reacting to some of my old shifting content yet again. A few weeks back, I reacted to my very first reality shifting video, which I'm pretty sure was just called What is Reality Shifting? And that was a video that I posted in November of 2020 after I had first entered the shifting community. I have now been in it for almost 5 years. I have been in the community since September of that same year. And my opinions on shifting have drastically changed. A big part of that is because there's a lot less misinformation in the shifting community than there used to be. And I feel like, as someone who has been making this type of content, yes, I'm gesturing at my computer, who has been making this type of content for years, it feels like my responsibility to look back at these old videos that I made that were filled with misinformation, to take ownership for not knowing that I was spreading information that was incorrect, but still doing it, and then trying to correct it by telling you correct information, or at least my opinions on yet to be fully proven information. Of the videos in this very short series that I want to react to, this is actually the one that I am dreading the most. Today we are reacting to a video that I posted again in November of 2020 called Understanding Shifting Clones. Anyone who was in the shifting community that early on, especially if you were on TikTok or Amino for it, there was a huge misconception about what clones really were. First of all, I hate that any of us ever decided to call them clones. And I don't like the word. I also don't really know at this point in my shifting journey how I believe clones work or really talk about them, because I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't care. I don't care. It's like saying I don't spend a lot of time talking about multiverse versus consciousness, because I don't really care what it is as long as I can do it. I tend to be very multiverse theory leaning because I do channel, but also, even if I'm wrong, I don't really care, because as long as I can shift, that's really all I care about. I didn't really need to know the hows and whys. For anyone in the community who does not know what a shifting clone is or was referred to, I don't really see people talking about clones anymore. Your clone was supposed to be the version of you that was left behind when you shifted to your DR, basically what inhabited you. And we were all super convinced during early shift talk that it was like a different version of you who was going to say and do things that you would never do. Like, I could script that my clone would go and work out for like 6 hours a day while I was gone, and then I would come back skinny. Like, we all thought that we could do that. We all thought we could make our clones do things, or that our clones would not be versions of ourselves, that they were, like, a lot of us almost thought of them as like ghosts, or like the versions of ourselves that lived in our DRs that got shoved into our bodies here. That is not the case. First of all, I don't really use the term clone anymore. If I talk about what the subject of cloning is, I tend to refer to it as just like the part of your consciousness that is still here. Because in my mind, because I believe in the multiverse theory, we are all shifting at every single moment to endless versions of this reality. So technically there is always a version of you here. It just might not be the version of you that shifted, but there's a version of you that did shift just now while watching this video. So it's that sort of thing. I am so not the source for that sort of thing, and I don't really talk a lot about it because I will admit that it's confusing, and I think a lot of people tend to feel like it's wrong to admit when you're confused or don't understand something. I'm not. I have learned in my 29 years on this planet that there's a lot of stuff I don't know, and that it's not going to help anybody to pretend to know what I'm talking about. I just know what it's not, and what it's not is what I talk about in this video. I have not watched this video since I edited it and posted it. I'm really scared because I have no idea what I'm in for. I'm looking at the date right now on my computer. It says that it was posted November 16th. Sorry, I'm dyslexic. It was November 16th of 2020. And this video has 11,458 views on it. 11,000 people sat through this and like took this as law, and that hurts me because I have so much content that I work on so much harder now and it does not get near these views. Which, by the way, little sidetrack, I went live on TikTok the other night, and I was informed that so many people who were in that live are subscribed to my YouTube, but I have no idea that I've been uploading regularly for a couple of months now and had no notification of it, did not see me in their subscription box. I have no idea what's going on, but if you are actually seeing this video and you want to be notified of when I upload again, it would mean a lot to me if you would please click the notification bell next to the subscribe button. That way that you can be told when I upload. Right now my upload schedule is every single Thursday. So it would mean a lot to me if you would do that. That way that you don't get kind of lost with all the other people who've apparently gotten lost. Without further ado, let's get into this. This video seems to be 11.5 minutes long in total, so I'm a little scared. I look like a baby. I know that like there's not a lot of difference in this other than like my hair, but like my roots are so grown out and my red is so faded. No, it doesn't. But like, to me this looks like a baby, and that's because I was 25 in this video. Let's just hope my jaw doesn't kind of give out in the middle of this. Why would my jaw give out? Hey there everybody, it's Lilith. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. I'm only about a week off of my dental work, so forgive me. I just really wanted to get back to you guys. I also wanted to say thank you so very much on all of the positive feedback on my last video about reality shifting. There's going to be a bunch more videos to come on this topic. I'm on a bit of like a hyper-focus sort of fit right now. Blame the OCD, not me. So expect a lot of videos on this topic. As you can see by the title, today is another reality shifting related video. Today we are talking about clones, which is not as scary as it sounds like it is. If you have not already seen my last video all about reality shifting, please go find it, pause this, go watch it, and then come back here so that you understand the basis of what reality shifting is if you don't already know. But if you've already seen it or you understand reality shifting already, then here I am to explain shifting clones to you. Without rambling too much, let's go ahead and get into the video. Alright, today we are here to discuss clones when it comes to reality shifting. I know that clones is a bit of a heavy word, it's a little bit scary, but it's not like in a science fiction movie where there's like 100 duplicates of one person with some sort of weird like mega controlled mind like robots. That's not what it is. Clones is a widely debated subject within the shifting community, and everybody is going to have a different opinion about clones. But I'm going to explain to you what I have found in my research, and we're going to go over it together. Hey, research, shift talk. Research, Amino. Don't let her fool you. This research she speaks of, shift talk and Amino. There are a lot of people that believe your clone is who you are in your desired reality. That it's where you're going, it's the body you're going into, it's the person you will be. Whereas there's a lot of people that believe clones don't even actually exist and they're not even actually a thing. But the majority of people refer to or believe clones to be what is left in your place in your current reality when your subconscious leaves your body and goes to your desired reality. Now, let me expand on this a little bit more. As we learned in my last video, when you're going to your desired reality, when you're shifting, it is your subconscious leaving your body and going to another reality, another plane of existence. Your subconscious leaving your body. We are 2 minutes and 20 seconds in. Do you think I was going to have a problem this soon? Because I did. Your subconscious leaving your body and going to another plane of existence. If I took a shot for every wrong thing in that sentence, I'd be blackout. First of all, your subconscious doesn't leave you. You're just becoming aware of something somewhere else where you already exist. Second of all, you're not leaving your body. It's not like your soul is passing on. You're not leaving your body. I've described in other videos before that the way that I like to explain shifting is that there are multiple stations on the radio. Your favorite station is always playing even when you're not listening to it. So if you turn over to a different station, you listen to that station for years and you never touch your favorite station. Your favorite station is still playing. When you go to it, when you choose to tune into it, then you're listening to that station. But the one that you just left, that you've been listening to every day for years, did not go away. Shifting is just which station you happen to be in tune with at the time. It is about becoming aware in a place where you already exist. You're not leaving your body. You're not traveling. Your subconscious isn't packing up and leaving for college. Like, not even 3 minutes in, guys, not even 3 minutes in. But your body's not going to be just left empty here. It's not a shell. It's not the visage of who you once were. Your physical form on this plane of existence in this reality is still here. It can't just be left empty and unresponsive. People will think you went into a coma. So what takes your place in this reality is your clone. Essentially, what your clone is it's just you. It's you while your subconscious is gone. That doesn't mean that your clone does not have your memories or your emotions, or that it's not going to interact with people, because it will, only if you want it to. Referring to the clone as it is part of why this is so fucking scary. Because I'm saying it, and everyone was like, it's like an alien. Like, no. It's just you. It's just you. It's just you. The details of what your clone does and does not do while you're gone is something that you will be charged with putting into your script, which I briefly mentioned in my previous video, and my next video will be all about what scripting means and what it is and stuff you can put into your script. But essentially, when you are scripting, you should have an entire section if you want your clone to be awake while you're gone. I personally prefer the idea of my clone being asleep while I'm gone, just because I feel safer about the idea of my clone's not out there talking to people or doing stuff for me. There's a lot of people that they like the idea of their clone going and doing stuff that they don't want to do, like sending their clone to school or to work, or making the clone eat healthy or work out for them or do something they don't. Like, I knew it was coming, you know? I knew. I told you it was going to be there, but also, oh my God. Feel like doing themselves while they check out to their DR. But because the clone essentially is you, the clone will never say or do anything that you yourself would not do. If you're not prone to random fits of violence, your clone's not going to be randomly violent while you're gone. It's not like it's a crap carbon copy of you that's going to go and do other stuff. It's you. Your subconscious is just gone. Your clone will talk exactly like you, think exactly like you, act exactly like you. They just don't know you. I have just contradicted myself. Because I'm sitting here saying that this is a version of you who will never do anything that you won't do. But if you don't eat healthy, and if you don't go work out and exercise a bunch, why would the version of yourself that's still here do those things? There were people who were like, I'm gonna make my clone get really hot and clean my whole house before I get back. If you're not prone to just picking up on a Thursday and cleaning your entire house, why would your clone? Oh my God, 11,000 of you poor people did this to yourselves, and I did this to you, and I'm so sorry. You're a clone. It's a clone. My bad, that it's a clone. It basically puts your brain on autopilot with the previous settings that were used to fly the plane. Now, from what I've seen, I have seen people who just trust the clone by way of just saying, my clone will go to work for me from this hour to this hour. My clone will do this homework for me. My clone will clean this part of my house. But I've also seen people that script that their clone doesn't leave the house. They can only talk to a trusted few people that know about the shifting. I have also more seen people who want their clone to be awake and doing things for them if they're doing non-sleeping methods in order to shift. I've also seen people that do sleeping methods that want their clones to wake up in the morning and go do stuff for them the next day, but I personally only do my shifting while I am sleeping. I only do sleep methods. It makes me more comfortable and it's easy. This is not true anymore. 3 of my 4 mini shifts happened while I was awake, which was really weird for me to know that I had like one foot in one reality and then the rest of me in another. So I don't always do them asleep anymore. A lot of the time I try to do both, I guess. My awake ones are usually because I was trying to do a sleep method and started to shift before I fell asleep, actually. I prefer the idea of a sleep method, but also I'm one of those people that when I picture myself shifting, I picture myself laying down with my eyes closed and earbuds in. So either I'm meditating and I don't get up, or I'm sleeping so I don't get up. But I don't really imagine myself to be shifting and then like getting up and going and doing stuff. Like, I don't know how your shifting journey is. I don't know how you imagine yourself to be, but I don't really picture myself as doing stuff after I've gone to shift. Maybe it's also because I've adjusted my time ratio. So I don't really believe I would be gone long enough. The longest I would have been gone here wise is like an hour, because I've adjusted my stuff since then. But I don't really imagine myself to ever be like getting up and going and cooking or cleaning or working or doing anything. That's just like not how I picture it. To me, I'm either always laying down meditating or I'm sleeping. That doesn't mean that I'm consciousness theory leaning. It just means that's what I'm up to. Easier for me as a process. From what I've seen, a vast majority of people, myself included, script in to a section of their script. My clone will be asleep in my CR while I am in my DR. Now, of course, if you're doing a sleep method and your clone is asleep for you, you will want to add a section in your script that says, if my alarm goes off in my CR, or if someone tries to wake me up from my CR, I will hear it in my DR, so I know to do my safe word or my safe action and wake up so that the clone doesn't have to. Because if you've scripted the clone to stay asleep, the clone's not going to wake up just because your alarm is going off at 7 a.m. so you can go to work. So if you have chosen to have your clone asleep, I'm not going to lie to you, it's still in my script that if someone tries to wake me up or if an alarm goes off and I'm in my DR, that I'll like sense it. I'm not going to hear anything because I'm not there, but it's like I'll just like sense it emotionally. But also I don't really see that happening because I've adjusted my time ratio and how long I want to be in my DR, based on the fact that I don't want to be gone for long periods of time. My life here is really important to me, and I prefer to not be gone a super long time so that I can still pay full attention to my life here. But also I have ADHD, so if I'm gone for long periods of time, I can and will forget stuff like plans that I have going on, conversations I'm having with people, important information, stuff like that. Here in this current reality, you have to specifically script in that you will wake up to someone waking you up, or you will wake up to an alarm. That way that you know to get up, because the clone has been told to sleep. Now, don't be mistaken. Your clone is not another person. It is not a dual version of you. It's you. Your subconscious is just gone. I want to stress that because clones can sound like a really, really scary concept. It is just you. Now, this part that I want to stress, I've heard both ways about this. I don't like the wording of, it's you, your subconscious is just gone. I don't like that wording. That was something a lot of people did in early shift talk. My leg's already asleep and I have to swap legs already. That was something a lot of us were saying to make the concept of clones, which does sound scary, sound less so. And I don't think we did a very good job because, oh my God, I just almost knocked everything off of my table. Saying it's you, just your subconscious gone, it makes it sound like part of your brain is missing. And I don't think we did a very good job of making it sound not scary. This next part by way of the memories of your clone. Now, your clone will automatically, because it is you, will have your memories, your emotions, your appearance. The clone is you. But I've heard some people say you have to specifically script, when I come back to my CR, I will have the memories of everything my clone did while I was gone, if you choose to keep your clone awake. I feel like I'm gonna ruffle so many feathers with this video. I just want to stress again, if you believe in clones, that's fine. If you still script stuff in your script that has to do with clones, that's fine. I don't care. This is me just talking about my opinions on clones and how they've changed and how the understanding of clones popular in the community is now understood. I don't care if you agree with my interpretation of clones. Your shifting journey is yours, babe. I would never try to stop you from believing what you believe. But this is driving me insane. I've had other people say you automatically will have the memories of whatever your clone did while you were gone. Because I have heard it both ways, I cannot say definitely that you do or do not need to script this. So if I were you, just to cover my own butt and be careful, I would go ahead and specifically, if you decide to have your clone be awake and go do stuff for you and interact with humanity while you're gone, I would specifically script to make sure you get the memories of everything your clone did that day, just in case. If you're still a little worried on the clone front about if your clone will act exactly like you, script it. The more you script in general, the better. If it makes you feel better, even if it's a detail that's... Do you ever lift your head and your neck cracks? You don't need a script to shift, like, ever at all. A lot of people prefer it because it makes them feel like they have more control and like they're safer. I have OCD and anxiety, so I have to have a script or I won't even try to shift somewhere. And there are some scripts that I've memorized like the back of my hand and I'll still read over them just in case. You don't have to have a script to shift at all. Not necessarily needed. It's completely okay to script. You don't have to script, my clone will act exactly like me. My clone will make the type of decisions that I will. My clone thinks exactly like me. My clone has all of my memories. You don't have to do that from what I've researched. But if it makes you feel better to script these details because you feel like you've got all your bases covered, do that. The number one thing that I always tell people about scripting is it's specific to you. Your script and my script don't have to be anything alike. They don't have to have the same details. They don't have to be as long. They don't have to be as written out. They don't have to be as specific. It can be as long or as short, as detailed or as vague as you want. You don't even necessarily have to have a script in order to shift. It's just recommended and it helps to get all of your thoughts in one place so that you can review it before shifting and keep it all in one location. So if you want to make a big, huge... That's the only section of this video I have so far been completely on board with. Never let anyone tell you you have to have this thing in your script. You have to have this or you're not going to shift. There was a lot of that back in the day where it was like, you have to script in this, that, or the other thing. There's stuff that's like super popular. I'm actually planning on doing a video of like things that go in every single one of my scripts. Because there are things that are going to be like DR specific, but I have a string of several things that they copy and paste go into every single one of my scripts without hesitation. So there are things that you personally are going to think are great, but like it's not necessarily going to be in mine or mine in yours, that kind of thing. There's no thing that you have to have in your script. Like I said, you don't even have to have a script. So it's whatever is most comfortable for you, whether it has to do with clones or otherwise. Page-long section just about what your clone does and does not do. Cool, go ahead and do that. I personally just like keeping her asleep because I would rather just live my full reality both. I personally just like keeping her asleep. I feel like this way that I'm speaking, which was also very common on Shift Talk and Amino at the time, was really like referring to your clone like it was actually like a science fiction clone of yourself, referring to it as her, as if it's not me, it, as if it's a thing. I think is part of the reason people find it so scary. And I will admit right now, a lot of things that happen on early Shift Talk have kind of like stuck with me and rewired me. And I think cloning is one of those things. Clones to me are like an uncomfortable thing to talk about. I'm actually trying to like face a discomfort right now with you guys because the subject of clones, because I'll admit right here and now in public in front of you, I don't know everything about shifting. I will never know everything about shifting. Even after I've been successfully shifting for years, I will never be able to fully understand and explain it because there's no scientific proof of it yet. What just popped up on my computer? It was a security alert. But I will never be able to fully explain those things. Clones is one of those things that has been dumped from misinformation to kind of being taboo to talk about, to kind of being spoken about in different terms, to now people talk about it under different names. Like I said, people really refer to it in different ways now. A lot of people will refer to it as your awareness. I'm personally more comfortable talking about a shift in awareness rather than talking about a clone because that's scary as hell and it can be really nerve-wracking. So this is a subject I don't like talking about, but also I feel like I should, because this is misinformation I unknowingly put out onto the internet because I thought it was real. So I feel like it's my job to go through it with you guys and be like, hey, this is weird, or this is something I don't believe anymore, which is why I'm doing this series. But also, and also, here and there. So I have a section in my script that says, while I am in my desired reality, my clone will be asleep in my current reality. And I also have a section that says that if an alarm goes off or if someone tries to wake me up, I will hear them and feel them in my DR so I know to wake up. So if you are looking into reality shifting on Amino or TikTok or wherever you happen to be looking into it at, and you hear people talking about clones, that's what that is. Like I said, there are a lot of people who believe clones aren't even a thing, and there are also people who believe that the clone is when you're in your DR. But for the most part, I will say I have noticed people that don't really touch on clones or shifting awareness anymore seem to be more consciousness theory leaning than they are multiverse theory leaning. That's not really like a huge fact or anything. It's just something that I'm saying that I've noticed. I don't personally lean super heavy into consciousness theory, so I guess I still kind of dabble in the idea that there is some form of a... It was my wrist brace scared me. Of either... Oh my god, dude, stop it. Of either some sort of like consciousness or awareness of some kind. But I don't really see people that are consciousness theory people who talk about it ever. Really only came across those two things in the last couple of days. For the most part, what I've seen, everyone else believes that your clone is what happens in your CR while your subconscious is gone in your DR. I think that's pretty much all I have to say. Clones was a pretty brief topic to be able to discuss. I know today's video is very, very short. I'm very sorry. The raw footage right now is only about 14 minutes long, which is saying a lot considering the previous video was about half an hour of raw footage. So if you have more topics that regard, you know, stuff to do with reality shifting, please leave those in comments below and I'll see if I can get some videos out on them. I do plan... Okay, so I'm pausing this at 9 minutes and 52 seconds in. There's 2 minutes left and it's all just outro stuff, so I'm gonna go ahead and get my computer off of my lap. I feel like this one is so much shorter than the last one, and maybe that's because I had so much more to say about the other video, but also because I think the original like reality shifting video was a lot longer. The raw footage on that one I think was like 1 hour and 20 minutes, and I can see the video on the side suggested it came out to like 57 minutes and 37 seconds, so it was just under an hour, and the raw footage of this just now hit 29 minutes, which is kind of short for me. A lot of my videos, especially long talking videos like this, take like an hour, so... I almost don't know what else to say. I feel like I expected a lot worse out of this, honestly. I think the first one was a lot more cringe. The first one I was clearly a lot more nervous about talking about what's considered to be a very like controversial, easily bullied, touchy subject. So it's very clear that I was like super uncomfortable. I can probably get my ear thingy out now. I got these new earbuds in the last few weeks, and I'm not used to them because they don't have a wire on the back. But they fit kind of weird. They magnetize into the case though, which is super fancy. As I was saying, I think that I expected this to be a lot worse than it was. I expected it to be a lot more cringe than it was. And I think that is because the first one was super cringe, because shifting is something that's still not super accepted to talk about on the internet even after 5 years and after countless people have successfully shifted. So I think a lot of it was that I was super uncomfortable in the first one. It was a lot of ooh face touching and oh my god, my voice where I'm recording trying to sound more feminine so that people will accept me better. It was easily my customer service voice, which makes me really, really, really not miss customer service. So I think it also helps that I seem a little more comfortable because there was a little bit more acceptance based on the reaction I got from people on the first video. I think also it's because I'm not trying to do the people-pleasy voice as much, and I think I'm a little bit more in tune with what I'm doing. So at least there's that. So there was less face touching and the voice was less intense. It was still there, but it wasn't as bad. So I think it was definitely less cringe, and I'm happy to not be sitting here an hour in. But pretty much my opinions on clones, it sounds stupid, is just that I kind of don't really think about them ever anymore. And for all I know, I could be wrong, and maybe I'm in the minority because I don't think about them ever. but I just don't. It doesn't really occur to me. I think I kind of stopped thinking about clones at the same time that I stopped really thinking about like how shifting works and what's the science behind shifting. For me, shifting is like a very spiritual experience, and I don't really think a lot about like why things are the way they are. I just kind of accept them sometimes. I don't, question why are there ghosts. I just believe in ghosts. Why can we astral project? I just accept that we can, that kind of thing. So I think for me personally, because it's a very spiritual experience, I just kind of stopped questioning it. And so there's probably a lot that I don't understand about it. There's probably a lot I don't understand about shifting awareness type stuff. But there's a lot of this I didn't agree with. I don't think that you can script your clone or your awareness or whatever you want to call it to do stuff you're not going to do. And that includes getting up and eating super healthy for a week and going to the gym for 6 hours a day so that you can come back snatched. Just like, I don't think that's a thing. I think that your awareness is you and is going to act like you because it is you. And I think that your awareness is you. Your awareness is not an it. It's not a that thing. It's just a version of you who didn't shift. To me, that's all that is. And I also used to get questions from people on old videos that were like, how do I know if I'm a clone? You're not a clone. If you're asking if you're a clone, you're not a clone. And I feel like it's just kind of like a touchy, scary subject for some people, which is why I don't super talk about it. I probably won't super talk about it on this channel anymore because it doesn't really pertain to me or my journey or the kind of content that you guys seem to see from me that you enjoy. So this will probably be the last time clones gets talked about on here. I don't have a whole hell of a lot else to say. I thought this was going to take a lot longer. I'm only at about 34 minutes of raw footage. I was originally going to film another video later tonight because today is the day that me and Carly are shifting the podcast. If you have not caught up with the Batshit Crazy podcast, it is linked down in the description. And tonight we are filming episode 6, which is our Q&A that we have been hyping up so much, and I'm very excited. So if you guys have not caught up on the podcast, or if you've never watched the podcast at all, please go check it out. It is a huge labor of love. But originally I was going to plan on filming another video after we finish the podcast, but considering I've only been filming this for half an hour, I might actually have enough time to film it right now. So if in the next video I am dressed exactly like this, with this exact lighting, that is because I filmed these videos back to back to save time because I have to film the podcast tonight. If I look different, that's because I decided to film it after the podcast. I think it's all going to depend on how I feel as soon as I stop recording. While you guys are down in the description checking out the link to the podcast, please check out the link to my other social media. I don't know where TikTok is going to be standing by the time that this video comes out. I have no idea what's going on with it in the States anymore. But my TikTok is down there, and that's where like the brunt of my shifting content is besides YouTube. But if you want to check out other places where I post shifting content, you can find my Tumblr and my Blue Sky in the description as well. And if you want to check out parts of social media that have to do with me but not with shifting, then you can find my personal Instagram, my Goodreads, all that good business down there as well. You will also find a link to my other reality shifting videos in a shifting playlist that I will link in the description. While you're down there, please check out the email in the description where you can contact me for a personal tarot reading. I do give shifting tarot readings from people that you want channeled from your DR or your higher self who's already shifted, or from your spirit guides. I can get you advice, answered questions, inspiration, motivation, that kind of good stuff. So if you're interested in that, I charge $10 a piece in US dollars, and I take payment through via Venmo and PayPal. Also, there is going to be a section in the description that has to do with someone else's socials that is not mine. My friend Carly, who you guys have heard about repeatedly on this channel, that is the co-host with me on the Batshit Crazy podcast, was recently screwed over and demonetized on her subliminal channel for a very stupid reason and denied the appeal that she sent in. So the person that I know who works harder on YouTube than I ever could making the best subliminals in the shifting community has been demonetized and is no longer being paid for her very hard, diligent, and intelligent work. I will be putting a little section in the description for Carly's stuff. You can still follow her on YouTube. She will still be making subliminals semi-regularly for the shifting community because she's really passionate about it, but because she's not getting paid for it anymore, you should definitely also check out her other social media. I will be linking her TikTok, her Patreon, where you can get little goodies if you subscribe to her Patreon for a very reasonable fee a month, and where I will be leaving an email if you want to contact her. You can also get tarot readings from her that are similar to mine. Honestly, I think her tarot readings are way better than mine, and they are of the exact same price as mine. And you can also contact her email for a personalized shifting subliminal. Her subliminals are the only ones I will use anymore. I absolutely swear by them. They are very reasonably priced. So please contact her email if you want your own personal subliminal or if you want a tarot reading from her. Because I think she works so incredibly hard and really deserves to be praised for what she does, I'm going to leave her information in the description of my next several videos to hopefully gain traction towards her channel and towards her social media, because I think she really deserves it, and there's very few people in the community that work as hard as she does. If you guys have any shifting related questions, please leave them in the comments below. I'm trying to rack up more shifting related questions for a shifting Q&A on this channel. I already did part 1 a few months back, and I'm trying to get more for part 2. And also, if you have any ideas for content that you would like me to make about shifting on this channel, because I did do a poll a while back and overwhelmingly you guys wanted to see pretty much just shifting content. If you have any video ideas for shifting content, or honestly even not for shifting content, for any kind of content you want to see me make, please leave that in the comments as well. Sometimes coming up with video ideas is really hard, and I could use the help. As I said earlier on in the video, please press the notification bell next to the subscribe button if you are not already notified. That way that you can find out when I am uploading every Thursday. And also, if you're not subscribed, what are you doing? Please subscribe. I love you guys. Please join the family. It would mean a lot to me. And I think that's all that I have. I'm trying to figure out if I should go record another video or if I should do some readings and then do it after. I don't know yet. I will see you guys later. I love you. Bye.